name is Neil Beck, and you Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And we are up to wave 44 of the 48 ways to wisdom. We are in the final straits, which is much like the Israelites were. After they left Egypt and walked around the desert a bit, and then they made it to Mount Sinai. I've been to Mount Sinai, by the way. It's actually a reasonably unimpressive mountain. I have to tell you, you wouldn't actually know it's a mountain if somebody didn't tell you, oh, that's a mountain, right? Not that you wouldn't know it's Mount Sinai. You wouldn't know it's actually a mountain. Anyway, so there was a journey the Israelites took from Egypt, Exodus, that big thing. If you haven't seen the movie, Charlton Heston's quite a good one. Was it the other one, the Christian Bale one? Is it good? I don't know. I have to think about it. I don't think it is that great. Anyway, so they left Egypt. They Exodus from Egypt, and then they had a 50-day journey to get to them, get to Mount Sinai, and it was as well as a physical journey, but a spiritual journey as well. And so during this time, we get help from above in I think we get help from above all the time, but you got especially help from above in any spiritual endeavor that you take upon during this 50-day period. So that's why we study the 48 ways to wisdom. Well, there's all kinds of things you do. What we're doing 48 ways to wisdom. What are the 48 ways to wisdom? These are 48 ways to make you freaking awesome, absolutely awesome. It comes from a codification of the Jewish law called the Mishnah from about 2,000 years ago, which was greatly expanded by my Rabbi Noach Weinberg of blessed memory. I have to say, I've really enjoyed going back and listening to his old classes on this to remind myself what these are about. I haven't actually seen these for like 10, 15 years. But so I've had to significantly remind myself. So before we get into it, can you hit the like button? That will be great. Can you hit the share button? That'd be fantastic. Hit that subscribe button. YouTube are up to their shenanigans. I was nearly at 3,000 subscribers. I think actually went over for like 10 minutes, and YouTube went, wait, what? No, we can't let that happen. So they took a bunch of subscribers off me. So here's the deal. I'm offering a prize. I'm going to offer a prize for the 3,000 subscriber that I notice, right? That we can, after we make it to 3,000 subscribers, the 3,000 subscriber, and if you're subscribed, make sure you're still subscribed. That I'm going to add that 3,000 subscriber into my next comic book, Crown of the Empire. Speaking of comic books, go check out my Indiegogo. I've got two freaking awesome comic books right here for your delight and delectation. Yeah, if it's not your thing, go ahead and share it. That'd be really nice as well. Link is in the video notes. Right, let's look at this way to wisdom. Way 44, analyze the issues. I should have called this one Analyze That. I've already made the thumbnail. Forget it. I'm not changing it. So this one I was a bit like, well, how am I going to talk about this? Even for like a minute. It's like, well, obviously you analyze that. And then I listened to the class by Rabbi Weinberg. And I realized that people don't. Yeah, this is a skill people really, really don't have at all, which is kind of amazing to me, because how can you think about anything without analyzing it? So what the point of this way to wisdom is making analyzing something your just part of you, like what you do when you encounter anything, and you do that I've forgotten about that because I spent so much time training myself to do this that that I don't even notice me do, but I do. I analyze everything because it's important to know what you think. that dictates what you're gonna do. All these things are kind of important. So this one in the Hebrew is called Sha'or or Meshev. So asking and answering. So that basically means analyzing something. You got to ask and answer questions about pretty much anything, right? Anything at all. So how do you do that, right? How do you do that? So there are three steps to everything. Three steps to this. Define. You've got to define what you're talking about. Now, this is where I find people run into the biggest problems today in terms of all these conflicts people have, and that's why we have half the world thinks that the other half of the world is terrible, and then the other half of the world thinks that the first half of the world is terrible, and they're both thinking exactly the same things about each other, right? They're both thinking, oh, you're brainwashed, you don't think, man. Yeah, everybody thinks exactly the same thing about the other side of the art. Why? It's because I don't think we've defined our whatever our issues are. All right. The one group will say, you're a bigot because you don't like people who are I don't know, they basically they go to calling you a bigot straight away. So I just found out that's called bigoteering. Yeah, I'll throw this up. This is called bigoteering, which is an incredibly incredibly bigoted thing to do. The act of labeling a person of racist, sexist, or something else like ist in a situation where it is not warranted, in an attempt to exploit the stigmas accompanied with such labels, and force the opponent to spend time and energy explaining why they are not a bigot. That's exactly what it is. But the way they're able to do it is because we don't have a shared definition of what being a bigot is. They just can throw it anyway. And that's why defining something is really, really important. And that's where you need to start. To analyze everything, you need to define your terms, and this is a really important thing in life, just in general, because a lot of times you think we know the definitions, we know what things are, just because we assume them by rote. We don't really, it's just kind of like bred into us by our society, right? But we don't really stop to question those things. And some people in general don't stop to question the premises of their society. So yeah, define, very important. Deliberate, ask, why is this important to me, right? Like why? So what? Who cares? And that is a great question to ask about anything. So what? Who cares? And then apply. What am I going to do about it? Define, deliberate, and apply, right? And if you do those three things about anything and everything, and you train yourself to do it, you are going to be a far more analytical person, and you're going to be a person who does far more what they want what they want to do, right? And they can be far more. I think be more the person they want to be. If you do what you want to do, is you're probably going to end up being that person that you want to be. So an important thing in analyzing is look for inconsistencies, right? Look for inconsistencies. I read any comic book like written by somebody completely unqualified to write comic books, but they have the right identity. Lots of inconsistencies, right? There are lots of inconsistencies. Let's just I think we'll what are these questions for life? That looks pretty good. Apply your QA skills to all aspects of living. Yeah, listen. I mean, just don't think you know things. Be prepared to ask yourself, what are people? What are people like? Questions that you think you know the answer, but you haven't really thought about. This is a really good thing to do to train yourself to analyze things. So it talks about a piece of Talmudic logic. I guess this is why I do generally speaking, analyze things reasonably deeply. And by rote, I just do it straight away, because I spent a good amount of time in rabbinical seminary learning the Talmud, and I study it every day, which is basically a massive tome of people arguing with each other, right? They disagreeing, but they bring reasoned arguments. They're not arguing like with each other they do today on Twitter, but actually having a genuine argument about genuine things. So why is analyzing issues a way to wisdom? A fool is too embarrassed to ask questions. Don't be a fool, right? People will often not think about things, not things, because they don't want to feel stupid. That's the only way you're stupid. That if you refuse to think about it. A good question is half the answer, right? A good question is fantastic. Questions and answers are life tools for clarification. For every contradiction, there is an equal and opposite resolution. That's interesting. Yeah. That's a real interesting one. That is very true. Human beings reveal themselves by the questions that they ask. That's very true. And also, when they say when other people say you're doing something bad, that's always a thing that they're gonna do, right? That's always a thing that they do. Contrast one concept with another to see if any contradiction emerges to anything you previously assumed is true. And don't be scared of tearing things up and going back to the going back to the starting block. When drawing conclusions, don't simply rely on outside opinions and assumptions. Only know what you know, right? Ask yourself, what exactly do I really genuinely know? Or what has been told me? That's the real difference. And I think that's a real key way to stop yourself being manipulated, like, and ask yourself, like how do I know this information is true? You know why? Because you analyze the issues. Analyzing the issues is a very, very important thing to do. I would say it's a way to wisdom. I think it's an attitude that you should just like encompass into you, generally speaking. Quite a good thing to do. So there you go. There's the 44th way to wisdom. Join me tomorrow for the 45th way to wisdom as we head towards the towards wisdom, I guess. My name's Sheila Becken, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.